Alright, so I don't think my my previous um recorded recording, I should say, sorry, saved. So I'm not really gonna showcase Eto. Eto is pretty self-explanatory. She's pretty bad. It is what it is. Um, but um, yeah. So now I guess it's a good thing that I'm starting off here because um, I'm showcasing Skeleton Knight with Guts and Griffith, which you'll see why in a second here. So give me a second. Okay, so as I said in the previous recording, my Griffith wasn't exactly fully finished yet, because I didn't have his true form, but now I do. So hopefully I can figure out how to how to get into that form. So give me a second here, and I'll figure that out. Okay, so I'll go through briefly what Skeleton Knight does. So essentially, his savior ability teleports him to a unit, and then that unit and him gains more damage and more crit, which the crit will last one attack, and then the damage in SPA, I believe, lasts for 3 attacks. So that's pretty good. His one of his abilities, if a unit in his range doesn't have as much damage as he does, they get buffed by 40%, I believe, and that includes also SPA and range by 20%. Um, and then the rest of his passive goes towards Griffith and Guts. So let me, real quick, get to whatever I need to do for Griffith. So in order to get Griffith, okay, so sacrifice 50k cash, and then okay, so all I need to do is sacrifice a little bit, a little bit of money. So if I go, I do not want him in range of my money units because that's just a waste. So let me put him here, and then that should be in range of Skeleton Knight, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So yep, that's what I need. Okay. So now that we have that, let's upgrade Griffith all the way up to max. I'm turning the attack effects off because last time that's why my recording stopped. So let's do that. Okay. Now, according to Skeleton Knight, if okay, so if Umbral Prince Holy, which is Griffith's holy form, I guess, um, uh, I lost where I was at. Okay, so if his holy form is in range, he buffs all allies with 25% damage and minus 15% SPA, permanently. So apparently it's permanent, but it doesn't feel permanent. I don't know if that's a self buff. I don't know. Okay. What else? So the other thing that Griffith's holy form does is his nice resolve performs all 3 actions, and then hope for the struggler now applies to everyone regardless of damage stats. So yeah, so up here is for everyone in his range instead of just depending on the unit's damage. So let me go here. Okay. That's all probably still the same. Let me see if he actually gets any damage. I think it's still the same. Okay, so that's okay, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Let's check what the struggler does actually for Skeleton Knight. So Guts. Okay, so Guts gains plus 20% more damage and is immune to stuns. And then his Outrage ability doesn't stun any other allies. But they still take the damage from it. So that is good. Let's also check. So since we do have Griffith's buff over there, let's check and see Skeleton Knight's damage. And of course, since my recording did stop, I'll obviously showcase Eto. So let's do that, and then power. 10.6 billion damage is nuts. Definitely crazy. Okay, that's Skeleton Knight. Not too bad. So 1 billion. That's his max DPS, which is really good because White Reaper does that, but his main damage dealing stuff is on bosses only. So that is a plus right there. And then obviously they all get some buffs from that as well. But yeah, so that was Skeleton Knight. So give me a second and I will showcase Eto real quick. And before I forget, let me showcase, or let me show the damage on Skeleton Knight with Naruto's buff as well. Yeah, 11.3. So not a huge difference, but it's still quite significant. Okay, yeah, let me restart this match, and yeah, I will be back. Okay, so I think ideally, I would probably use Griffith and Eto overall, or not. Sorry, not Eto. Griffith and Skeleton Knight, because Griffith applies like such a crazy buff with Griffith, and I think that plays a huge role. Depending on obviously what you're doing, dungeons he would help. Depending on what I guess what debuffs you have on the dungeons, survival probably also. Obviously infinite mode, but no one really does infinite mode unless it's for kills. Raids, maybe not raids. The damage difference on the newest raid is kind of crazy. I won't lie. It does make a huge difference having a perfect seal enemy. So, but anyway, that's besides the point. So Eto, she gains an ability, but before I go into that, so as you can see, there's a little arm, word above her head, and that changes every crit she applies, and each crit applies different effects, which I won't go through because it's a lot. But let's just say they're pretty decent. And then this ability applies different buffs, or yeah, it applies different buffs. So as you can see, there's different body parts. So let's, for example, do this. So she becomes full AoE. It's not permanent, but that's just an example. So, and then if you go here, that's her max. And then let's do this and this. So with just those two buffs, she gets 2.78 billion. And then let's, bruh, these trees. Okay, Griffith. So let's use this. Awesome. And then I don't really think I need to max him out, but whatever. So 3.48 billion with that. And then if I do Skeleton Knight and then his Savior ability. No, Savior. There we go. And then now 5.67 billion, which gets her up to 1.3 billion roughly. Not terrible actually. She's a lot better than what I said she was. But would I use her? No. I mean, normally you're just probably AFKing and using like a minimal amount of units. So I wouldn't really use Griffith. Or Eto really. Or Skeleton Knight. um, but yeah, so that's just me. But I had a blast making this video, even though it was a little frustrating having to re-record this. But that's that. um, I'm gonna stream later today. Actually, this time I'm going to stream some Diablo 4. But I won't be able to stream for the next couple weeks. Um, I will try and record the Part 2 Halloween update for ALS. And yeah, that's about it. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.